This segment is sponsored by Endoscopic Wellness Center of America. Obesity remains a national epidemic as 1 in 3 Americans are diagnosed as obese, which can later lead to serious health issues. The experts at Endoscopic Wellness Center of America have created new and innovative ways to help those who are diagnosed with obesity. And I'm joined by Dr. Richard Allen Blosser, who is the Chief Medical Officer and wants to share more about weight loss in general and how EWLCA uses a unique approach to losing weight. Dr. Blosser, so good to see you.
It's so good to see you. Good morning. Happy summer.
Happy summer. I mean, 1 in 3, I said the numbers, but from your perspective, what are you seeing as the scope of the obesity epidemic in our country?
Well, you're correct. The 1 in 3 numbers are very consistent, and they've only gotten worse, actually, because this was actually addressed more than a decade ago by Michelle Obama in identifying one of her landmarks was identifying childhood obesity. So even beginning in childhood, we have an obesity crisis, overfeeding all the processed foods and carbohydrates that we do to keep our children quiet. But at the end of the day, it induces bad eating habits, nutritionally unsound, fit habits. And at the end of the day, that extends into adulthood, which, of course, now we have 100 million women, men and women in the United States who not only are obese, but have all the comorbidities associated with obesity, which are obviously heart disease, lung disease, and increased cancer risks. And just by taking that number as an obesity number, you shorten your life. So life expectancy in the United States, while overall has gone up, those that are morbidly obese with BMIs greater than 35 and 40, their mortality actually has gone down. So there are more of them dying sooner and not living a full life.
And I know at EWLCA you all have a few techniques to help those that have been diagnosed with obesity. What unique approaches do you all take to help your patients?
Yeah, thank you. Well, we have 2 approaches, and one is a simple balloon that is behind me called the Orbera or Spatz balloons, and these are intragastric balloons that are placed with an endoscope, and both the insertion as well as the removal are literally 10-minute procedures that are done with anesthesia support. And those patients begin losing weight with our program literally the first day and continue that for 6 to 9 months when we withdraw the balloon. The other one that is becoming very popular is what is called the ESG, or endoscopic sleeve gastroplex. And this ultimately, over the next 3 to 5 years, will probably replace the laparoscopic version of the sleeve. And the reason for that is that we can make the stomach just as small, but we do it without surgery, we do it without antibiotics or pain medication. And their stomach is permanently reduced in size, but yet their anatomy is not changed. So they still are able to secrete acid and absorb B12, and we don't change their anatomical positions. We just make the opening or lumen of the stomach smaller so they can't eat as much. So they're the 2 that we do the most of. There's a third procedure called TOR, and one that we patented called TOR-B for those patients who had actually previously had bariatric surgery, whether it be a laparoscopic sleeve or a root-wide gastric bypass. And we can actually go back in and take them back to day 1 of their surgery without having to repeat the operation or redo the surgery. And we do that endoscopically as well right here in our center.
So, and then real quick, Dr. Blosser, the difference between like an endoscopic approach like you all do versus injections and pills. We're seeing so much of that recently. What is the benefit of the endoscopic approach?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. The endoscopic approach is a one-time session. So we are anatomically, any of the bariatric or endobariatric approaches start off with making the gastric volume as small as possible so you physically can't eat as much. So all of our approaches are a one-time deal, whether you put it in a balloon or whether I'm doing the ESG or the TORs. The issue with the pills and the shots are twofold. One, you need to read the labels very carefully. These are complicated medications that have an enormous and sometimes life-threatening side effects. The risk of endoscopies are literally less than 1 in 5,000, and I would argue probably less than that. The side effects from the pills and or injections can be fatal and need to be monitored on a daily, if not monthly basis by a primary care physician. But also understand that once you start on the pills and start on the injections, they're continuing for life. And we have quite a few patients whom are spending $2,000 a month in copays for one of the injections, And lo and behold, that's going to go on for the rest of your life when you can spend, 1/3 of that or less, and have something that's going to not only change your life regarding lifestyle modification, but also affords you the opportunity that I'm not going to be able to eat as much.
Dr. Blosser, thank you so much for all this great information. So good to see you today.
It's good to see you. Have a great summer.
And for you at home, if you visit EWLCA.com to request an appointment for a consultation with their team of experts, they will help you kickstart your weight loss journey.